Hello out there. My name is Marshall, and I am with GORE-TEX. I'm the facilitator for the Experience More Tour. I think I know many of you, and we're psyched to be here today in Seattle, Washington at Rainy Pass Repair. Rainy Pass Repair is an outfit that's I've worked with personally for many years in all the different repairs, sending folks here for alterations, but I've actually never toured it before. So I'm pretty excited to be here and be able to share this with you all as we explore Rainy Pass Repair. So why are we at Rainy Pass Repair today? Well, Rainy Pass Repair is an authorized service center for GORE-TEX, the GORE-TEX brand. So we're going to have some folks explain to us exactly what that means. But what we want to do is to help reassure you that you can send customers to Rainy Pass Repair and show you the path of repair that will happen when customers send products in, either for repairs or for alterations as well, which is actually pretty exciting. So, this kind of all rolls back to our sustainability and responsible performance that we've been talking about a lot, right? We talk about the use phase, and we want to extend the use phase of products. So, we can use our products, we can keep them rolling. You're out there in the field using them for what they're intended to be used for. But at some point, accidents do happen, and but that doesn't mean your jacket should get hung up or end of life, right? It can come back to Rainy Pass Repair, it can be repaired, and it can actually still be within the GORE-TEX warranty, the guaranteed to keep you dry promise. So we really want to extend or connect that product longevity with the product repair, in addition to the wash and the care that we talk about a lot at the Experience More Tour. So, it's one of our strategic partners, and actually, I want to bring up the person who actually facilitated this introduction and got this whole thing rolling, Andrea. Andrea is with the GORE-TEX brand services, and he's here with us today. So I'm going to bring him up. Andrea, come on in.
Hey, Marshall.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, everyone.
I'm psyched to be here. I bet you're psyched to be in Seattle.
Yeah.
Kind of a long trip for you. So, Andrea, you are in charge of brand services at GORE-TEX.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, brand services can be, several stuff. Basically, the special focus is on wash and care, repair, guaranteed to keep you dry. These are the three main assets, and all the services that we offer directly to the end consumers.
So, you buy a jacket, and then your sort of job is to make sure that the consumer who's purchased it has that suite of services that comes with the garment.
Correct. One of the services that we are implementing right now here with Rainy Pass, it's the repair. So our product, GORE-TEX product are meant to protect, in a quite of a extreme situation as well, and more casual. But in any of this activity, you as a consumer, you can damage your product, and this product meant to be damaged and used for the extreme. And you have the possibility to have this product repaired professionally at Rainy Pass at one of other authorized repair center, 40 plus around the globe.
So 40 plus around the globe of authorized repair centers.
Yeah.
How many in North America?
4 in North America. Yeah.
Okay, and so Rainy Pass is one of the major ones that we're going to they can utilize.
Yeah.
So it's an authorized repair center. What does that mean? How do we at GORE-TEX sort of reassure the customers what has to be done to ensure that then it's up to our quality?
Yeah, actually, very starting point will be a passionate and professional tailor will be a good. I mean, this is the basic starting point to become an authorized repair center. Then GORE enable the repair center with making sure that they use the proper equipment, the right material, and they have the right knowledge to repair a GORE-TEX product and reassure the full functionality of product.
So you're looking for an outfit that is passionate,
yeah,
that has the experience, a group of people that love gear. Once they're identified, you can enable backup like the gear they need, the fabrics that they need to do the repairs, and the technologies, and share the knowledge that we have, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so why would I choose to use an authorized repair center?
Yeah, it's very important to have a damaged GORE-TEX product repaired professionally to make sure that you restore the full functionality of the product. Doing that, you also, it's part of the, let's say, the consumer task on
Yeah,
on the
right.
product. You extend useful life of product. You make sure that the guarantee to keep dry will not expire because the product is not repaired professionally and using not the right material, and so you end up damaging more the product. So whenever you have your product damaged, you need to have it repaired and fixed professionally at one of the authorized repair centers, because only there you will find the right material and the right knowledge in order to carry out the repair.
So you're out in the field, you get a cut, or not cut, but a rip or something. You would put a little patch on in the field, but that's not enough, right? It needs
No,
to be.
that's not enough. And if you put one of the patches, GORE-TEX patches, not for permanent. It's not a permanent solution. This will help you just to continue your experience, not to interrupt the experience. But then, as soon as you are out back in the city, just get in contact with Rainy Pass on any of our other authorized repair center.
Okay.
And you get your product fixed.
Well, that's awesome, and thanks for bringing us here. We're excited to tour. So Andrea, thanks, and it's always fun talking with you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we're going to bring up Haley now, who is the manager here at Rainy Pass Repair in Seattle. Hey, Haley, how you doing?
Hey, doing great.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for letting us come in and walk around.
Yeah,
We're pretty excited to see some of the toys you have here.
Yeah.
So just a quick introduction. Can you introduce yourself to our crowd?
Yeah, my name is Haley Huggins, and I am the shop manager here at Rainy Pass, overseeing the warranty coverage, the customer service, as well as the repairs that come through our shop.
And how long have you worked here at Rainy Pass?
I've been here for 3 years.
How long has Rainy Pass been here?
25 years? 35 years.
35 years.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So a lot of experience in
Oh,
this
yeah.
room, and I'm sure there's some sewers who worked here for quite some time.
Long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Passing down the knowledge to everybody.
that's awesome, and
Yeah.
to be able to share that knowledge and kind of keep that institutional passion, like Andrea was talking about, for repair and alterations.
Yeah.
How in a given year, roughly, how many garments are you repairing?
Oh, tens of thousands, I would say. So
Wow.
many. Yeah, we
Okay.
we at any given time we have about 1,000 in shop. So we're moving through those in like a 2-week span. So it's just this constant
goodness.
stream coming through.
That is remarkable.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's great. That's really exciting because we want those jackets to get repaired or pants and get back out there being used. Right. That's the
Absolutely, yeah.
key. Instead
Keep
of going,
living.
keep living. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Instead of getting into the landfill
Yeah.
or just being hung up in the closet for eternity.
Yeah.
So, well, let's explore the path of repair process, if you don't mind taking us
Yeah.
through a little bit about how that works.
Yeah.
So where does it begin?
So an item will come into our shop. Either
Yeah.
you can mail it in or you could walk it in if you're in the area, and we will assess it for the damage that has been done to it, and then we will do fabric matching if it needs that, or material
Can you
matching.
show us? Can we go do it?
Absolutely,
All right, let's
yeah.
go walk in there and take a look.
Okay, we'll start in the library.
Okay. So this is called the fabric library that we're headed into, which is really cool.
Yeah, so this is where we would assess it here at the computer, come up with a cost, and then we're gonna find the fabric. So if it was a patch that's needed, we have just an array of colors to pick from. All of these are GORE-TEX fabrics.
So let's roll back, because I really want to pull these off the wall and look
Yeah.
through these, but we're going to get there in just a second. So let's start with, okay, so something comes in and you need to do that initial assessment,
Right.
right? So we have a cool tool here,
Yeah.
the Suter tester.
Yeah.
And so what is the Suter tester used for?
So the Suter tester we use for determining what caused the damage or the leaking that might be happening
Okay.
in the garment. So
So what does this do? What does this machine do?
it's going to pump water in a
Uh-huh.
pressurized system through this valve, and then it will determine if there's pinholes in it. So that will let you know if it was like a wear and tear incident
Okay.
versus seams leaking.
So you get to be a little bit of the sort of eyes of GORE-TEX, as people call for warranties.
Right.
You can kind of assess, well, that was a pinhole,
Right.
in which case you can repair it, but that's nice to know that, or it's
Right.
something else going on.
Right. we're the eyes, we do all the visual assessments
Okay.
and relay the information back to you guys.
Awesome. So can you show us how this thing works?
Sure. Yeah. We have a jacket here.
And I just want to point out, this is a super cool vintage Alpha SV. It has the older GORE-TEX Pro in it. It's always fun to see these older jackets.
Okay.
And just also, why do you have this jacket here?
Oh, this is actually getting recycled. I think the zipper's broken, and whoever owned it chose to move on without it. So they recycle it with us, and then we will wash it, do a treatment for it for DWR, and then we will harvest the fabric, and that's what goes into these bins.
I see. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so we'll just do a small little sample here.
so that goes over the gasket.
That's right. Okay. We can take this off.
So creating a seal.
Turn it on.
So it is on, and I can see a gauge here.
Right.
The PSI is going up. And when I feel, oh wow,
Yeah.
there is a lot of water pressure underneath
Right.
that. I don't know if you can see that there, but there's actually, it feels very stiff to the touch.
And no leaking. So if there was leaking, you would get little shoots of water coming out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd assess in this part, okay, not leaking in that zone, so that's great.
So we know it's
maybe
good.
we'll just put a patch over that or something if the backer's worn out or
That's
whatever
right.
it might be.
Yeah. Or if there was a pinhole, yeah.
Okay, if there's a pinhole, then you'd put a piece of fat, or sorry.
Right. We patch it.
Yeah, patch. Okay, I was
Yeah.
using patch is the wrong thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool. So that's part of that assessment where, and I'm sure there's a lot of other steps you're looking at
Yeah.
as you assess.
Yeah.
Can we repair it? Is with how much might it making maybe an estimate on the cost of repair and things like
Right.
that. At that
Yeah.
point.
And then we'll connect with the customer, let them know the cost,
Okay.
and
Or if it's within warranty, whatever.
or with the warranty company. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is great. There's a wall of fabric here.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna pull one off. I'm a guy who loves orange, so I'll pull off orange. And
Orange
it's really
and
neat
red.
to see that inside this box is all these different fabrics. So you've been collecting these, I
Yes.
imagine, or
Yeah.
harvesting, right?
Harvesting, and then we get some from Andrea. We'll call, and they, will provide some for us as well. And we have it all divided up by what type of backing it is. So if it's a 2-layer backing or 3 or 2.5, we
So
separate them that
if
way.
a CNET jacket came in, for instance, a CNET backer, so you'd have you try to match up a CNET
Right.
back fabric.
We'll have a CNET fabric that we'll use. Yeah.
So that's really exciting because that means you can actually match, the technologies really well. You can match the technologies, keep that hand, that feel,
Right.
even the breathability and the
Yeah.
waterproofness specs
Right.
the same throughout. So you have just a vast array, so you can do a lot of different
Yeah.
fabric matching.
Well, and functionality first, and then aesthetics second.
And so Andrea will send you some of these fabrics. How else is GORE involved in this? Is there other ways?
Well, Andrea will send us fabrics that we use often, and then with our recycle program, that's how we get a lot of the other GORE-TEX fabrics that we use.
Okay.
And even the swatch books that you guys provide,
Yeah.
they're 3x5, so it's a good size for a patch.
So if somebody sends in like a vintage garment, something from
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago, like first generation XCR or something like
Yeah.
that, do you have those on hand?
We try our best to find a backing that will work for it,
Right.
as well as the color match for it. Yeah, I mean, we have a big selection, so normally we're pretty good at being able to find something that's comparable.
Super cool.
And Lawrence asks, what else beyond jackets do you all work on here?
Jackets, garments. We do backpacks. We can repair tents, sleeping bags, tent poles.
Shoes or not shoes?
No shoes.
Okay.
All soft goods. Anything that can fit under a sewing machine, we can take on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that answers your question, Lawrence. Lawrence, good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Lawrence.
joining. And then, let's take a look. So you figured out the fabric. If there's a question, I assume you'll contact the customer, like, well, I don't have the exact match, so you want to go this lighter or this darker? You'll send them a photo and they'll choose.
And sometimes they want to do a really fun color or something. We can
Yeah,
do
right.
a design patch.
You can contrast,
Yeah,
for instance, like,
right.
like really be playful about it.
Yeah.
So you've got that selected. You know what you're going to do to try to fix it. What's the next step in the process?
So it's going to go into the repair queue, and then it's going to end up at a sewer station.
So can we go look at one of these cool sewing machines?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Okay.
So so this is super cool. As you can see, it's not a large space, and to think that there's 1,000 garments in here being kind of worked on at any one time is really exciting. And you can see here folks working away, just repairing, right? And the sort of high level of craftsmanship that needs to go into making these repairs. So, first of all, I don't know a whole lot about sewing. I know, so are these like specialized sewing machines that are being used?
These are all single needle machines that we use. They're industrial machines, obviously. They can take on really thick fabrics, really thin fabrics. They're very versatile.
Okay. And what in the sewing world is sort of unique to GORE laminates? Do all GORE laminates get treated the same in the world of sewing?
Yes, except for I would say we try to stay away from using straight pins when we're sewing, just because pins create holes, which makes it not waterproof.
Right. And so for those of us who don't, so pins are things that you like
a straight pin to hold the fabric in place as you sew it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't do that with GORE laminates because you put a hole in it.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So you have to do other techniques.
Right. Yeah. I just get a lot better with holding it with your hands, and it's part of the training here. So.
And are there any laminates that are like particularly hard to work with?
I would say Shake Dry.
Okay.
It's probably the most interesting to work with. It's very flimsy and it looks really cool, but it is a little difficult to.
Okay, just very thin, very
yeah.
soft, very hard to hold into place. Yeah, so I think we have a question from the audience.
Yeah, Dominique asks, what's the normal turnaround time?
So the question is normal turnaround time.
Yeah, we're at a 2-week turnaround time.
That's fast.
Yeah, once the item gets approved, once the customer says, you know, let's move forward with the repair, it's out of here in 2 weeks.
Okay, so and then it gets shipped back to them. Okay, let's see. So, you know, as we put patches in and sort of make and do even alterations, are you doing like innovative patterning? Like, how do you know where to put the patches and how to make it all work to make it like, and what's the end goal really?
Mm-hmm. We want it to blend as best as possible. I mean, we want it to look factory finished. We want, you know, nice corners and straight stitching, obviously. Yeah, we try to blend with however the construction of the garment is. So if there's top stitching, we're going to want to recreate that. If they have interesting shapes, we'll try to do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that you've got sort of this term factory finish. So like, what does that mean to you?
Very neat, waterproof.
Okay.
Yeah, just, you know, we're going to make sure that the thread matches, that the fabric matches, that all of our lines are really straight, that there's no bulkiness or anything.
Okay, so a lot of this patterning, a lot of sort of experience, expertise, clearly a lot of expertise here.
Yeah, a lot of training that goes into working here, definitely, very niche.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of it comes from within, like sewers sharing information as well.
Yeah.
And learning as we go.
And Chintan asks, do you repair only the waterproof fabrics from GORE-TEX, or do you work with Infinium as well?
So the question is, do you work with Infinium or just with GORE-TEX?
We work with any type of fabric
Okay.
we can work with, any of the waterproof laminates.
That's awesome. So I think we're going to move on to the seam press, and it's actually being used right now, so that's great.
Awesome.
We'll kind of take a look. Sorry, we're going to... It's okay. It's kind of cool to see it in action.
Yeah. So this is the seam press.
Okay, so this is, okay, go ahead. Why don't you step up here, why don't you explain to our crowd sort of what this is all about.
Yeah, so the seam press is probably the most important part of this process. This is what makes us, I would say, GORE certified, is being able to waterproof our seams after we do the repairs. So the heat and the pressure will activate the glue, which is the seam tape, and it will seal up any of the holes that were made by the sewing machine.
And then there's kind of a rack of seam tape here. Why are there, thank you. Why are all these different seam tapes here?
For all the different backings that we have
Okay.
for the different GORE products.
So there's thinner ones if you're going with like a narrower seam allowance, right? And
Right.
then trying to match with the
We match what's
reconstruction.
already there, yeah. And yeah, whatever type of layer the GORE-TEX is, we're going to match that with the complementary seam tape.
And so this machine seems highly specialized. Do you have to set a different temperature and a different sort of time based on what you're doing?
Depending on what you're working on, we're going to adjust the temperature. It's the right temperature for the fabric.
So those have all been calculated and set out. There's work involved there, right? It's
No.
sort of certified and
Yes,
figured out.
yeah.
Okay. And is there anything particularly challenging on that, like a particularly challenging seam that you've had to do?
I think the double-sided seam tape that we use, which is a lot of times for like aesthetically pleasing, no stitching on the outside.
It's like when you get like the cuffs or the hem
Or the
lines,
hem,
right?
right.
Where you don't, if it's not already stitched through, you probably won't stitch through again.
Right. So having to line that up correctly, it's a little bit more challenging
Right.
than some of the other ones.
It's
Yeah.
kind of doing two things at once.
Right.
Cool. So then it gets seam sealed, right? So you know you'll do the sewing work. You know it's going to then be waterproof after it's all done. After that, we're going to go. Then what happens after this?
So the repair gets completed, and then we're gonna take it to the checkout bin where it gets.
All right. Let's go walk over
quality
to
control.
inspection. Thanks, everybody. So this is inspection here, and we have Kara here.
Hi.
Hey, Kara.
Hello.
Kara, what do you do at Ready Pass?
So I do quality control and shipping for the most part. Quality control is where the items come after they've been repaired or the services have been done, and I just make sure that they meet our standards.
Okay, so it's all done. It needs one more set of eyes, a caring set of eyes, right? Because you're kind of, you know that after this, it goes to the customer,
Exactly.
right? So this is the final stop. So you represent Randy Fast Repair. And so what are you looking for when you are going to open us? Let's take a look. We have a pair of Nerona pants here.
So the first thing is to pull out our notes that'll tell me what the repair is and where it was done. This one had quite a number of repairs done on them. The first was that we replaced the elastic at the bottom of these snow cuffs.
Okay.
So what I'm looking for in a repair like this is to make sure that it is the repair that it says on the ticket that the customer requested, and that in this case the stitching looks good, it's straight, there's no spots that were missed,
Right.
it's the right length, all those things.
So good to have a second set of eyes on it, or probably third set of eyes even. As
Third,
it's
might be
gone.
fourth,
Yeah,
you never
right.
know.
But you're seeing the finished product, and you're seeing it from a, you're stepping back and looking at it from that standpoint.
Exactly, the whole thing instead of
Yeah.
each stitch.
Yeah. Okay, so then what else happened on these pants?
This one also had the Velcro on the other one done, same thing,
Okay.
checking to make sure they match in this case as well. And then this one had a patch done
Oh, wow.
on the outside as well.
So there's a patch here, and so it's that's really well color matched. And then what are you looking for then when you look at that patch?
So when I'm looking at this, I'm making sure that there isn't any additional stains, that all the stitching is straight and even, things like this. There's a loose thread.
Let's fix that right now.
Done.
Okay, so you're inspecting to make sure, just the overall final inspection.
That
and
it looks
then
really good.
On the
And
back
then on the
side.
back, we've seam taped it. And in this case, the fabric was a really good color match, and it was a really good fabric match, but it was a little thinner than the rest of this fabric, so we backed it with a heavier seam tape.
Okay.
And when I'm looking at the seam tape, I'm looking to make sure that all the corners have been pressed down all the way, that it's smooth, that it covers all of the stitching and all of the repair. This pair of pants also had some abrasion damage on the inside, so we backed that with seam tape as well. So there's a large panel of seam tape here, as well as a couple other spots.
So clearly
on
this
this
customer,
leg.
ski boots, did a lot of damage to the inside of these.
They really did. That's
Yeah,
something we do
it's-
see pretty often.
So you're gonna go through and find it all, and then you're just gonna reinforce this thing, right? Just,
Exactly.
Like, just make sure this doesn't happen again.
Exactly.
Well, cool. So I think I would hope this customer would be happy when they open up their box. And so that's great. So anything that, like, what's your mantra as you're looking through these? I mean, we were talking earlier, and you're like, you know you're the last step.
Yeah, when I'm looking through these, I'm not a sewer, so I like to look at these as from that perspective of if I just paid maybe $100 or something for all of these repairs, would I be happy with the repairs that I got?
Yeah.
Paying that money plus
Right.
shipping. And I think in this case I would be.
Yeah, right. It looks like the quality You got a lot of work done. It looks great.
And it's gonna hold up too.
Yeah, you're ready to go for the next
Our
time.
warranty lasts for a year, and the GORE warranty lasts for a long time as well.
And should customers wash their stuff before they send it back?
You mean, should we wash it or should
No,
they
should
wash it?
before they get into this whole world, should customers be washing their garments? And
They should.
Sorry,
Ideally,
it's a lot.
customers are washing their garments on a regular basis, dependent on use.
yeah,
Certainly, if it's very dirty, especially if it's very muddy or
Yeah.
sandy, often things we see, we want you to wash it, because if it's too dirty, we won't work on it because it can damage our machines.
okay, cool. Well, thank you for sharing all that.
Of course.
Sorry to take you from your work for the
No
day,
worries.
but it's fun to be here and see what you do. So, cool. Thanks, Kara.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So we're gonna walk over here. Haley, when you join us again and kind of take a look. You know, we just went through kind of that whole path of repair process, which is
Right.
fascinating to see all those steps, right? And you've worked out how to kind of do this consistently and with quality.
Right.
And it's exciting for us to be able to see that so that we can tell customers about it. You know, we're talking a lot about repair, but there's another thing you do, which is alterations.
Right.
So, you know, that's really cool, and that's super important, I think, for folks who sell clothes on the floor, because it just doesn't fit perfectly. And this is an option to make that alteration. So, can you show us a little bit? We have a couple pants here that have been altered.
Right.
Can you show us what you do?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of times when people need to get alterations, maybe they need it shortened or they need it lengthened, their pants or their the sleeves of their jacket. We want to make sure that it looks factory finished
Factory, okay.
when it leaves here.
Yeah,
So
right.
we don't want to have a bunch of extra seams or having to remove a lot of the components. When we do these alterations, especially with ski gear, you have all these components that are involved at the bottom, and people are always really concerned that this is going to get chopped off.
Yeah, right. Like, how do you shorten my pants if that
Yeah.
has a cuff in it?
Right.
Yeah.
So what we do is we will find, try to find seams that are elsewhere in the garment, normally around the knee articulation, and we will take the inches out from there. So this customer got 3 inches removed from both of these pairs of pants. So we made it look really nice and clean, right? So we took out some material at this seam and at this seam. So it looks flawless once it leaves. It doesn't even look like it got alterations done. And everything at the bottom is still intact on both of these.
Yeah, I mean, this is like super clean if you look at it. Like
Yeah.
this is a seam, you did not top stitch it, you taped it down. You can't even really tell it's
Right.
there.
Yeah, and then on the back side as well.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So like factory finished, but now they fit, right?
Right.
And here's the key is that like you do this work as your authorized repair center and it stays within the warranty, the guaranteed and keep you dry promise.
Yes, yeah.
And so, you know, you can send customers here, know that this gets done, and,
Yeah.
and then the warranty is still good. And that guaranteed to keep you dry promise is something that it's still, like we've talked about that a lot on the Experience More tour, how important it is and what goes into creating that. So this is part of that step.
And with alterations, we also do modifications too. So if somebody wanted to add a new zipper on the side of their pants, we can do that for them too. We get that a lot as well. So
Oh, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
But, but for those of you who have customers who just really want to have a new pass pocket, that can be done.
that's
so,
right. Yeah.
And then Chintan, I want to point out, this is the pair of GORE-TEX Infinium pants. So there it is right there. I know you asked that question earlier. So yeah, it can be done. So,
And we have a question, what are we looking at in the background?
oh yeah, what's going on? It's like, we like this background because
Yeah.
it's pretty,
Yeah.
but what
Yeah.
is this all about?
This is our thread wall. So the sewer will grab the repair off of the wall, and then they will find the matching thread to go with it and
Okay.
pull it right there.
So if it's a top stitch piece where they're going to see the thread, you're going to have to color match the thread.
Absolutely.
So that's a pretty cool wall. It would have been fun to be the person to set up the rainbows on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Chintan asks, are there any post-repair instructions that you want the customer to know about?
Post-repair. Well, to know that we do have a warranty, so if they see any issues with any seam tape or anything, they can always contact us, and you know, we'll be sure to correct any issues that we have. Otherwise, I think it's important just to wash regularly and yeah, use the treatments, and that will help your garments
Right.
last a long time.
Right? I mean, I just can't say that enough, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you agree, right? I saw in the back, we didn't even go there, but you have those amazing washing machines.
Yeah.
Because, you know your customers can wash these at home. That's the follow-up, in my opinion, is just wash and dry your garments frequently, right? It's just going to keep things rolling better,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then
So-
in addition to GORE-TEX, what else does Rainy Pass work on as far as repairs, alterations?
Yeah. So GORE-TEX, we do if you have rips in your sleeping bag or in your tent, or if you need a new door, your mesh door breaks off. We have a lot of dogs that rip open their tents.
Bears, maybe?
Yeah, bears, right? Definitely, we have seen a few bear incidents
No
come
way.
through. Yeah. So, yeah, we can patch anything that's a soft good that we could put under our machines. We can take on.
So like I have a running pack, the zipper pull doesn't work anymore.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Those are easy, I
yeah,
imagine.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can replace the zipper. We can do alterations, so people want to have their straps lowered on their backpack, so we can do all that.
And then Lawrence asks if you take old tents and stuff like that for repurposing. Is that something that you all do?
We can. We want it to be in good condition. If it's flaking and things like that, then it's not gonna be able to be recycled. But yeah, we're happy to take recycled items and do our best to use what we can.
That's really cool. That's actually good because I definitely have some old pieces that I would love to get back into that use phase, or whether
Yeah.
that be use phase or whether that being upcycled for like you said, harvesting,
Right, yeah.
recycled for other products. And that goes in well with our upcycling program too that we've talked about on Experience More Tour with recraftable products and things like that out there too.
Yeah.
So
And then we have one final question
Okay.
from Dominique about the shipping. Is that the customer's responsibility, or who do they work with for that?
Yes, so shipping, I believe GORE is shipped. I don't know if GORE pays for shipping or not, but most of the warranty companies will ship the items in, and if it is a consumer that's paying for the repair, then yes, you'll pay for shipping here and back. Yeah,
it sounds like the shipping more or less is going to be on the consumer to take care of that.
that's right, yeah.
Okay. So, good question, Dominique. Thanks. All right. I think that's kind of wraps up our tour.
Cool.
Haley, thank you so much for
Yeah.
showing us around.
Absolutely.
It's super cool to see this. Hopefully this helps you all out there to talk with customers and really reassure them that they can purchase GORE-TEX products. They can, if they go out and use them like they should, please go out and use the products and get after it when you're out there, that if mistakes happen and that repairs can be made and it can stay in that use phase. Right? That's
absolutely.
right. That's really the goal.
Yeah.
That's the mission.
Yeah, we have customers that have sent in their item and for their 5th patch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love seeing that. So,
Right? I mean,
yeah,
people love their products, right? There's memories into those,
Yep,
and
there's
you can
stories.
keep those going.
Yeah.
So that's got to be
Yeah.
fun to see that. I'm sure you get notes sometimes with some of your jackets of like
Oh, yeah.
how passionate people
Yeah.
are. Well, Haley, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Appreciate it
Yeah,
letting us
thanks.
be in here.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Thanks. Bye.
So thanks everybody for watching. It's been really fun. I just wanted to just reiterate that this is really super cool to see all this and great for your customers. This fits in really nicely, I think, with the responsible performance that we've been talking about at GORE-TEX, about extending the use phase and keeping the products in cycle longer and longer and longer so that they can be used. And working with authorized repair centers, seeing the services that GORE-TEX is starting to really wrap in, thanks to the work that Andrea is doing, and then thanks to you spreading the word with customers about washing, drying, and now repair as something to really extend the use phase. So, and just in the end, it just needs to use an authorized repair center because it stays within warranty. We really want to make sure that the product is cared for, and so that's why we've identified this global network of authorized repair centers that when you purchase a jacket that you can send your products there and they're going to be looked after as if they were their own. And that's now you know how it works, now you know the passion behind it. Please share that with the customers, and it's been really fun kind of taking this tour. So I want to thank you for joining our live stream. I want to thank you for being here with us, and we'll do this again sometime soon, and we'll see you back on Experience More Tour. Thanks.